If you have a lot of ideas, a lot of things that you want to do, write them out.
So stop waiting. You want something? Start small, do something.
I have all kinds of people come to me, I've got a great idea I'd like to share with you. What they do is they want me to execute their idea.
Rise and shine, it's Entspresso time.
I wake up every morning.
Espresso keep me going.
I wake up every morning.
Hey, it's Carmichael. I'm a little sick, but this channel was created to help you overcome the #1 challenge that is holding you back, a lack of belief in yourself. You watch these videos because you know there's something more inside you too. You have Michael Jordan level talent at something. So let's start your day off right together. Grab your coffee and sip on today's message from Lisa Nichols. Also, if you want to have more confidence, check out my 254 series. They're free. The links to join are in the description below.
I believe any behavior that you don't want any longer, the way that the catalyst to change is recognizing the price. You're gonna play ginormous, say ginormous, but first take baby steps. If you have a lot of ideas, a lot of things that you want to do, write them out. And I make columns for each one. So I don't put them all together because they're each almost like on separate islands, which is why you feel so fragmented or overwhelmed or whatever that might be. So I make columns, and then I just put the idea at the top of the column. And I just write out everything that I have in my head about the idea until I feel like, whew, okay, I got that out. Once I have them out, then I attach a timeline to when I'm going to start it and ideally complete it. Now, let's be clear. The timeline of when you're going to start it and complete it are going to move. So don't get stressed out about the timeline. You made it up. I'm going to say that again. When you create a timeline, you made it up, which means you get to modify what you made up at any given time. But I give myself a start and a completion date. Now, here's the key thing. There are things that I give a start date to that I'm not even going to start for 2 years, for 18 months. Matter of fact, I'll do, like, let's say I'm in the second quarter of this year. I'll put in one of those columns, my start date is the second quarter of next year. So I know I'm going to get to it. It's called, what am I doing now? And what am I not doing now? But I'm doing it. I'm just not doing it now. Oh, man, can I tell you, don't sleep on that little nugget right there. I learned that from my coach, Susie Carter, that there's your doing now, and then there's your doing, but not now. So it's on the calendar. Everything that you're doing should be on the calendar. There's the doing now. It has a place on the calendar that you're actively in. And then there's a doing not now because it's on the calendar. So I have some great projects I'm excited about. I don't start them for like another 10 months. And then I put all my other projects from these columns inside of these current 10 months. And so now you are doing it because you have a start date, but you're not overwhelmed with it because it's not all vying for your space and your attention in the now.
Just do it. If you've got an idea for something, just do it. Get out there and start doing it. Start small, take small risks. Don't put all your money into something, but just start doing it, because sometimes we get caught up in trying to make the perfect plan and try to have everything mapped out. And then anything that doesn't quite make sense, we have to make sense of it before we take any action. And if you're like that, then you're never going to do anything because you're never going to have the perfect plan. And as soon as you start, it's always going to change. And my first company was a biotech software company. I spent the whole summer making what I thought was a great business idea, a great plan, and researching everything. I had to have everything figured out before we really started on it. And then as soon as we started, everything changed. I realized my assumptions were wrong, that the market didn't want this, that our customers weren't reacting the way I thought they were going to react. Everything changed, and I had to change. And I was so frustrated that I blew my whole summer working on this plan, thinking this was the greatest thing, and the more time I spent preparing, the better I was going to be. And it all just blew up, and I wasted all that time. So stop waiting. You want something? Start small, do something, because whatever plan you have is always going to change. You're not going to be the same person in 5 years. You're not going to have the same customers. It's never going to work out like you think it's going to work out. And the only way to get started is to start. Stop planning so much. Get out of your head and start. Do something. Do something today. Do something tomorrow. Keep the energy going. Start. Just do it. Believe. For those of you watching, like the video, give it a thumbs up below. I want to hear your feedback too. Leave a comment underneath. If you have a question, leave it below. I love seeing them come in. Thank you guys, and I'll see you soon.
Do you know, almost everyone has a great idea, and they're going to execute their great idea. I have all kinds of people come to me, I've got a great idea I'd like to share with you. What they do is they want me to execute their idea. Why don't they execute their idea? When you get a real good idea, you should act on it. People have ideas of starting a business. I've started a number of different businesses. Question is where to start. You start where you are, and you start with what you've got. That's all you need. When you start where you are and with what you've got, and you bring your mind to focus on that idea, you will attract everything to you that you need. You are taught, seek ye first this kingdom in its righteousness, and all these things will be given to us. See, when you learn to focus on something, you get on a frequency. And when you're on that frequency, you start to attract whatever you want. You may not have any money. You may not have the resources that you need to execute, to build it into something big. That doesn't matter. All the resources that you need to do anything you want to do is already here. But you've got to get in touch with them. You've got to get in harmony with them, and boom, you'll rush them into your life. You'll attract the money, the people, the thoughts, the things, everything you need, you'll attract to you. So where do you start? You always start where you are, and you start with what you've got. Don't be looking at what you don't have. Think of what you do have. Fall in love with your idea and get it rolling now.
If you want to know how Sarah Blakely manifests her ideas, check out the video right there next to me. I think you'll enjoy it. Continue to believe, and I'll see you there.